everyone. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Connecting Greeks podcast. I am Ari, and I learned some news today. I heard we were the #1 Greek podcast in the world, according to my 2-year-old daughter. So, I mean, take that because, 2-year-olds know their stuff. But with me is my co-host, Foti Stamos. How are you, Foti?
So Ari, I will always listen to your 2-year-old over you any day of the week.
I mean, she knows more than I do, right? And speaking of 2-year-olds, our other co-host, Angelo Tanukas. How are you, Angelo?
Speaking of other 2-year-olds,
I'm sorry,
I'm
Angelo.
good.
I had to do it.
That was actually a good segue. I love that one. And speaking of other 2-year-olds, how you guys doing?
We're good. We're
You're
great.
good?
We're very excited for today.
Me too. I'm excited today because we're this girl, I met her a few years ago at the Greek America Awards in New York, where she performed. I'm a big fan of her song Pame Pame. Love that song. I love it because I sing it to my wife and daughter every day. Pame, the Pame, and they love it. She's an amazing singer, performer, nominated for numerous awards. And her influence, and we're going to get into it because I love her influence, Crete and New Jersey. You got to love it. Welcome to Connecting Greeks podcast, Evangelia. Good to see you again.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
Do you,
That's
if I
great.
I wanted to say real quick, when we first met you, you were kind of making some waves. But man, from then till today, you have blown up everywhere I look, anywhere.
Fire.
Yeah, it's like
Big time.
amazing. How does this feel?
Thanks, guys. It's, when was the last time we did talk? Was it 2 years ago that we did this?
I want to
COVID.
say,
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
Oh my God, which scary is COVID was more than 2 years ago, which is not okay.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we'll just skip over that thought. But yeah, a lot's happened, and for me, it's been just little building blocks and everything. But it is cool when you look at it from one conversation that we had back then to now, what's been able to happen. I'm really, really grateful.
And we're on the outside looking in. So from our point of view, especially me and Foti, since we're not industry people, whatever. I mean, Angelo has kind of like a different outlook because he's industry. But from our point of view, it seemed like an explosive rise. I mean, maybe because you're day to day, you kind of maybe see it, maybe you don't see it. I don't know. But from our point of view, it's amazing. Well, do you remember we talked to Evangelia? Look at, she's like videos. She's like charts. She's all over the place. It's crazy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
But you know what's interesting, Ari, is that I see what Evangelia is doing, and if I'm not mistaken, you opened for Argyros in L.A.
That's
Yeah,
Is that a big deal? Yeah, and I mean, you did the whole tour with them, right, Evangelia? Because you're in New York and L.A. and all Toronto, Montreal, and everywhere. And I know my cousins came to see you in Montreal and Toronto, and they said to me, "Do you know this? Greek American girl Evangelia?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "She killed it on the show." So you're also building up a fan base in Canada.
Yay! We'll see them again soon.
But I'm going to attribute to this because people, here's what they see. They see you doing your shows. They see your videos. They don't realize how much hard work goes into it. And the thing is, Evangelia, I'm going to tell you this. You make it look easy. So everybody, and that's the secret to this business. You make it look easy, but I know the dedication you're putting into it because that's a lot of hard work. And I know you travel a lot. So you're trying to create, trying to have somewhat of a normal life, if you can call it that in our business. And then at the same time, you're constantly coming up with new stuff, new ideas, and you're touring. So it's a balancing beam, but people realize, because somebody says to me, "I love to do that." I go, "There's a lot of work behind it." So what's a day-to-day routine for you? How would you start your day and end it?
Well, it depends where in the world I am and what's going on. It's
Right.
the thing.
Why don't you give us one of the days performing with
So-
Argyros on the tour? What was that like?
Well, on the tour, what was kind of fun? On the tour, like more simple because it was like my schedule was set. I had a routine of like, okay, we're going to this hotel and I'm just kind of in this new place. There's only so much I can do. But you know, I still have my own, you know, there's like label calls, there's strategy calls, there's social media,
Yeah.
brainstorming and then planning for the creation of different things. When it comes to touring, you know, brainstorming the set list and putting together what the intro is gonna sound like and what props do we want on the stage and who are we gonna have as dancers. Like the questions and the list of like to do can go on and on. But I'd say like a typical day here in LA is like I wake up early, I get on calls with my team. I do like a workout. I have like a session in the studio to work on something. Either we're working on the live show or we're working on new music. Probably a training session with a choreographer, and then probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm not even forgetting because
I mean,
then if I'm making content or something, Angelo, you know that takes a while.
I sure do.
Yeah,
I sure do.
So it sounds like a full plate of mental and physical like demands, you know, because it's everything.
Well, it's constant.
Yeah.
And then you got people you got people calling you for interviews. Can you appear here? Can you come to my party? Can you come and hang out? Then you got the relatives. Oh, sign me this. And they don't understand, right? Evangelia,
Yeah.
Wyoming. It's like, okay, I'll do it when I get home. Let's do Canistora.
La cantatora. No, you
We also have that Greek thing where it doesn't matter how big you get, you're never that big.
No, that's true. That's true. But that's why I always have this like extra respect for anybody in our industry, especially. I mean, it's always been a difficult industry, but right now, you know, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's YouTube Shorts, there's now like Spotify starting a shorts type thing. So it's just like so many different places you have to keep up. And, you know, just doing what we do as artists where we really put ourselves out there. Like that's a very brave thing. So I'm always very very just appreciative of all artists and all their forums. And I'm like, hey, if you're putting yourself out there, like respect, like you do you. I have no judgments, you know.
That's awesome.
Totally. It's so good. Now let me ask you, because I watch your stuff and your videos, and I love the way you put your videos together. And there's a lot of thought into it. There's a lot of theater in it also. It's not just like you remember the band Warrant, and they had an album, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and the record label wanted them to put an extra song. And the lead singer was so pissed at the record label, he did a song it was a fuck you song called Cherry Pie, which became their best selling single ever.
So what are you saying, Angelo? She should write a
cherry pie, and it's his girlfriend with a cherry pie.
She should write a song to
Remember that?
screw over the record label.
So, because it was an FU to the record label because he was so pissed at became their biggest hit.
So instead of cherry pie, should it be baklava?
Yeah, what should I write?
Baklava?
She's my baklava. No, but the thing is, that's what I like about your videos. It's like I like your videos seem to have a beginning, middle, and an end. Is that your thought process on it sometimes?
Sometimes. Depends on what the video is, but you know, we all try our best. We try our best.
No, they're good. It's because it's good. And I think that for me, it's about the work because there's a lot of people trying to do the same thing, right? And when I met you at the Greek America Awards, I mean, I was hosting the awards, and there's Anna Visi, and there's like Glikeria, there's Olympia Dukakis, and Greg said to me, "Evangelia is coming. You perform. You killed it." I think that was the one we did. I can't remember now if it was Carnegie Hall or the Plaza Hotel.
It was the Plaza Hotel.
Plaza Hotel, and it was and then we had we're gonna get him on the show. The drag queen Athena Dion. Remember the drag queen?
I love her.
It was great. She was great, and trying to get her on the show. She said she'd come and do it, but I think it's funny how, you know, when you look at, because I have a utmost respect for you because I know how grueling it is, and you got to keep that energy going and going. But you're on the right track, and I see your stuff's crossing over. When I'm on social media, I can see your clips, and I see your videos, and I see the way people are responding to you. So you're doing all the right stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
And now you're ready to embark on your
Yes.
own tour.
Yes.
Is this
Tell
the
us
first
about it.
time you're doing your own tour?
So it's the first time I'm doing one this big and for like super consecutive amount of days where it's like I'm out for a month, basically.
Wow.
Last year I did tour, but it was less cities and they were a little bit more spread out. Whereas this is like, all right, our flights are booked from Dallas, Chicago, Toronto, Montreal. Like we are just going everywhere. So it like isn't my first tour, but in a lot of ways it also is. So I'm really, really excited.
I mean, that must be like such an amazing feeling to know that you are doing something that you're passionate about. That's always been a dream of yours, right? And now it got to a point where you could go to different cities and people will come and see you because they appreciate your art. I mean, that is an amazing feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know who uses Facebook much anymore. I'm not really on it, but I do sometimes go on it to look at it, like shows you your memories and stuff. And so I go down memory lane, and it was showing me a Facebook status where I wrote, I used to host these like coffee houses, open mic nights in college. And it came up as a memory where like my status was like, hey, come out to the coffee house. Like
Yeah.
everybody can perform a song. It's gonna be great. And like for me, that was like the highlight of my life, getting to host those, and I loved it. But that version of me would be so pumped to know that today's version of me is going on like a tour. So yeah, it's like really cool when I put it into that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. That's awesome.
I gotta ask you, what is it about women from Crete? We've had a lot of our guests, all of them prolific, and I like the idea. So you were spending time on Yaya's farm in Crete, beautiful, and Jersey,
Yeah.
the two. And you know what? You kind of see it where the influence is both there.
Yeah.
You can see the Critico thing, which is fearless. Cretans are fearless, and I see that with respect.
People at a party.
That's right. I mean, it starts back in the wars. The Germans found out they got their butts kicked in Crete.
That's right. The 11 days.
Big time. Yes. And do you take some of that with you because you're this I guess a Jersey girl, right?
Yeah, I'm a Jersey girl for sure.
You're a Jersey girl, and which is cool. And then I see like you got that thing from Greece. You got that Kritiko thing, which I find the Greeks. Here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is that something about it. There's a fearlessness, and you look at the old folks. You go, what is it about these people that resonates now in our everyday lives? And you know what? They're not scared to do shit.
Yeah.
And I see that in you. And it's funny because you're like, I noticed on your bio when you talk about it, and I see it. And I mean, it's a great meld of things that come together. And it's like, go for it. You're a good example. Because I tell people who come to me, say, I want to be a comic. Do it. Don't sit there. There's no pill or formula. Work hard and do it. So when you go to Crete, you go every year to Crete, Evangelia. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, I grew up going every year, like spending 3 months, 3 months there. And now I always go every summer. I can't always stay as long because now there's stuff that I have to do. Even in Greece now, we're working on some shows and things that are going to happen. But I always go to Crete whenever I can. And it's a very magical place. And I do feel very lucky to have that Critico girl energy. feel like I got a lot of that from my yaya. My yaya was also, I love that you said that, like this fearlessness and this just like grit to just do stuff. That's my yaya, you know. She also, I'm not claiming to have muscles like her, but she was like, you know, 85 and she would like go like this and her muscles would be like out to here. She's like wrinkled like crazy because she's been out in the sun working in the field since she was like super young, but she could probably kick anybody's ass, like literally.
Oh yeah.
And then you know the Jersey girl energy, East Coast, you know, it's just it's quite a combo. So yeah, we're definitely risk takers for sure. I
Oh
think being
yeah.
in this is just like a giant just jump off a cliff, like hope this works out, you know, but it's fun. It's definitely not
Well,
safe. Really,
it
really
has worked out because you're
yeah.
doing all the right stuff,
Yeah.
and we're proud of you because we're
Thank
proud to see you. We're one because it's funny when we bring guests on the show, Evangelia. Did I say it right, Forty Evangelia? Because Forty keeps
If I get,
correcting me
yeah, if I
on our
get,
guests. So
yeah.
Dimitra, Evangelia, because we share the same name day, dude.
The
25 March.
syllables have to be in line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and because what we always make fun of it because what he was correcting me with our last guest on the show because clearly I don't know how to speak Greek.
Nope.
Anyway, but
We learn Greek on this episode.
It's educationally and entertaining.
you, did you like Greek school?
No.
No, I didn't like it either. Did you like it, Forty?
I liked it because I got to hang out in the back of the room with my buddies.
Yeah, like I'm
I didn't
grateful
pay
for
attention, but
yeah, grateful for it. I'm a lucky Greek American where Greek was my first language at home. So, and I got to spend my summers in Greece. So for me, Greek has just always been like natural. But to read and write, I did have to go to Greek school.
Right.
And it was not my favorite. Like now looking back, I love those memories with like my friends and stuff of all of us kind of suffering together.
Exactly.
But yeah, like you know, I am grateful for it though, and I looking back, like I do like it. I'm, and you know, my kids one day are gonna have to suffer through it too, and they're gonna be grateful. You know,
I mean,
But let me ask you now.
the best thing you could do is make sure your kids go to Greece like you did, like we all did, because that immersion is what's going to teach them the most.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's the winner. But it
Let
was
me
so.
ask you.
Wait,
Sorry.
funny Greek school story because I go to Greece, I go to Crete, and I be with my yaya, and you guys know Crete has like a different dialect. Sometimes we say things differently. So I also speak like would just speak full on like Cretan and would write stuff in like Kritika, not knowing, it's just what I know. And the teacher would be like, όχι, δεν το λέμε έτσι. And I'm like, well, η γιαγιά μου το λέει έτσι και η γιαγιά μου μένει στην Ελλάδα, οπότε ποιος έχει δίκιο? You know what I mean? I get so frustrated. I can't remember what it was, but I used to get stuff wrong all the time, even though it was like, right?
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
I'm like,
Yeah,
yes,
because when you go to Greece now, Evangelia, I'm talking Greek now. They all want to speak English to me.
I know.
Yes.
I go, no, you can't do that. We had to suffer in Greek school every Saturday.
Yeah,
Talk to
like
me in Greek.
this is how to make it worth it.
So
Right.
do you feel performing in Greece, do you get like the same type of reception that you would here? I feel like here, you know, the Greeks here, for the Greek fans, the Greeks here kind of are more appreciative of people doing like something Greek, where in Greece, I kind of feel like it's old hat to them, like they see it all the time. What kind of feeling do you have as a performer?
Yeah, well, what I will say is there is a very special energy when I get to perform for and around Greek Americans because there's this like kinship and understanding of a shared experience
Right.
and this shared like pride for where we come from, but also pride of being American too. And so being able to have both things like mixed together. So when I go from like a hip hop dance move into like a pedozali move, it's like I understand both these things so well and I love these things. Like in a way, Greek Americans, there's this saying even in Greece and stuff, it's like the people outside of Greece love Greece and Greek culture more
Yeah.
sometimes, or it can seem that way. So I do love having that special bond with Greek Americans and just Greeks in the diaspora. There is something special there. And then in Greece, people haven't really done this mix of like American pop meets Greek. So even when I was opening for Argyros in Greece at Teatro, the program that I had was very different from anything really anybody else was doing. And I did feel appreciated for that, of like, oh, she's doing something different. This is fresh and blah, blah, blah. And I think in some ways they find it endearing how much I love Greece and Greek things. And I pedozali's in my set and zebekikos in my set, and I do it. And I think especially in Greece, there were some people that were like, I don't know if you should do that. Like, it's so like, it's like moussaka. It's like giving people, like the cheesy Greek thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is who, like, I love this. Like, I need to do it. And then I do it. And those two parts of my set, I'm telling you, were like the best part. People freaked out because they would never have expected it and wouldn't have seen like a girl dressed in like this pop outfit dancing zebekiko and like pedozali super proud. And everybody flipped out. So we're just, molding minds, getting people to be more open-minded.
That's amazing. Amazing.
That's good because, the thing is, when I go to Greece and do shows, I tell them, I speak Greek the way you guys speak English. So think of me as your special needs cousins visiting in the summer. Because Evangelia made a good point. They appreciate it more now. I think they think it's kind of cheesy, but when they see you owning it and doing it, they're actually deep down proud that you did do it.
Yeah,
that's why people love coming to your shows.
They're proud. Like, when I remember the first time I posted up at those, I was actually in Australia. I got to tour there last year, and I posted a video dancing in front of some famous train station in Sydney. And like the next day it was on the news in Greece, like a young girl. Like, I think they also love seeing people in the diaspora spreading Greek culture and love. And that's something I love about being Greek, though. Like, when we meet other Greek people, it's like family, it's culture in a way that we just really like. The opposite can be true sometimes, but I'd like to think like 90% of the time, like Greek people really do support each other and want to help each other rise up. And we like just connect on this deeper level. It's like, oh, you're Greek, you're immediately like family. Like, what can I do to help you? Like, please come to my home, eat all my food. Like, it's the coolest thing. And I don't know many other, like, half of me is also Italian. But Italian American, and over the generations kind of has been like the connection's been lost. But even like my Italian friends, there's not this like knit like super pride for Greek.
So Evangelia, you're Greek,
dances and everything. I don't know. It's really cool. I love us.
you're Greek and Italian?
Yeah, so I'm a half C. My dad's from Crete and my mom is Italian American. But my mom, I will say, she learned Greek. My mom speaks Greek quite well. Yeah.
Because the comedian Ariana Papalexopoulos, same as you, Greek, Italian.
Yes, I love it. By the way.
Now, I'm going to ask you something here, Evangelia. I think you're a natural. Have you been approached yet to do any acting stuff?
Not super formally, but I'm very open to it. I did when we really talked about this last interview, but people don't know I used to be a full-time teacher and everything. And when I was laid off and decided to go into music, something that I did was audition and take an acting class in New York, because acting training kind of helps in all sorts of ways for performance. So I've got a little training under my belt, but I'm open to it.
Is Angela, you got something up your sleeve? Or
what? There's something. I've been working on a few things.
Something going
I'm looking at Evangelia. She'd be great for a few things. We're working on a couple of things right now. As I'm talking to you and I see you, and there's definitely, because there's a lot of natural that comes out of you.
Cool. Look,
For sure.
So Angelo, you work with Foti next to you for all these years and never an offer for him, but Evangelia comes on and immediately.
5 minutes.
How do you know
I
we
can
don't
say
got,
it.
all right, how do you know I don't got something going on?
No, I
Oh,
mean, if I was
maybe.
doing a Greek prison scene and there's a guy in the cell with me, probably before, you know,
Listen,
for sure.
I got a couple questions for Evangelia as I'm listening to you, Evangelia, representing multiple cultures now that you mentioned it. But let's speak specifically about as a Greek American. As an artist now, reflecting when you were growing up, were there any inspirational artists growing up as a kid on the non-Greek side and the Greek side that maybe you can speak of that really
Yeah.
inspired you?
Yeah, I mean, on the Greek side, there were plenty. Somebody who just kind of popped into mind is Elena Paparizou. And
Yeah.
they were some of the first to incorporate some traditional stuff, but make it pop in their own way. And like when she did the dancing thing at Eurovision, it was like, oh, so good. I loved Karis Alexiou a lot. And of course, listen to a bunch of traditional Cretan people, Garganuraki and all of that from my dad. And then I really grew up loving Ray Charles and like soul music. My mom, jazz and stuff. So yeah, like
That's interesting. Huh.
That era, classic rock too. But then of course,
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Britney Spears, all those pop girls and everything. So you take all of that and you like put it in a stew, and then
Evangelia.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you guys: is it male or female? Is it fair to say? I'm observing this. Whatever mixes with the Greek side always seems to dominate.
Always.
Do you find that?
I think so. Yeah.
Always.
I mean, we're talking. My wife's Armenian.
She's Greek now.
For some reason, yeah. She's at the church. What is it? Because my friends say to me, they go, "You guys, there's something about Greeks." And Evangelia said it earlier. There's something about us that, like, during COVID, I was hanging out at Russell Peters' house. I'm going to drop names.
Love him.
And there's all these guys around. All these big Cedric the Entertainer, Will Smith, all these guys. And then he goes, "Oh, don't ask him about Greece. Greece, this is." I go, "Hey, I have no problem being Greek."
Yeah.
And I think people, when you said you did the dance in Greece and you did it like that, it's because people saw it give your heart. I go, and I think the thing is about, and why people admire us and maybe hate us at the same time, is because we do us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck you guys. This is who we are. People like Greek food. They like Greek festivals. They like Greek music. Why?
We're a very proud people. I mean, that's all there is to it. We're a very proud people.
Very proud people, and we love, at least me personally, and I love to see like just sharing our culture with others. And that's something really cool that I love about what I do. And when I get to go play live is that, yes, there's a lot of audience that is Greek American, and they're like kind of like my first, I don't know, embracers, and like people who like have supported me from the beginning. But it's also so amazing to see people from other backgrounds coming out to the shows and appreciating, you know, Dosari or whatever. Like the show I did in LA last year, there was this whole group in front. I thought they were Greek American because they like knew all the words. Like, no, we're from Peru. I was like, Peru? That is so
yeah, you had a lot of Peru people there. If I get a lot of Armenians love you.
Yeah,
the Armenians love Greek music. I know my wife's cousins and friends saw you at the show in LA.
Cool.
And there's a big, all the Greek singers that go to LA, I'd say more than half sometimes are Armenians go because they love it. And Israelis love it. Armenians, Lebanese.
And even better culture, Angelo, that loves Evangelia are Bostonians.
The Bostonians.
With guys, with all that.
Boston, right?
What was it?
Are you guys all based in Boston? Do I have that correct?
No, Foti and I are from Boston. I live in DC now. He's still in Boston, and Angelo's over in LA.
All right, so Angelo, I'm gonna see you at the LA show. I'm gonna see the Baltimore show. We got the Boston show. cover.
That's awesome that you could cover all that on your
So-
tour. Like that's
So
amazing.
Evangelia, what are the dates for the shows? Because I want to come see. I'm hoping I'm in town in LA to see you.
Okay, so praying you're in town on May 30th.
I should be, yeah. May 30th, LA.
Because you're getting back on the 21st, right, Ange?
I'm getting back on the 21st, but then I'm going somewhere. I don't.
Hey,
No, I should be in
you
town. I
can't-
want to come see you.
Oh
I
yeah.
get tickets. I'll call Dina and I'll get tickets and come see you.
With special, we got to do a special shout out for Dina who set this up. Power Muse. She's been
Dina
such a
Romeos, who's also a friend, and she's been a guest on the show. Shout
She's
out
the
to Dina Romeos.
She's been
And-
supporting me.
And Tsui, the Mexican Greek Tsui. I love Tsui.
All right, so
So May 30th, LA. Go on.
Yeah, May 30th, LA. Baltimore is May 18th,
oh, cool.
and Boston is May 15th. So I'm just saying the relevant ones to you guys. There's a lot more where that came from, and I actually I do have them, I think, memorized.
Well, we're gonna list all the links and all the info in the notes anyway. But jumping back a little bit to what you guys were talking about, and I don't want to put pressure on you, Evangelia, but hearing all these things, you have a responsibility. You are somebody who could represent and connect. I'm not just gonna say like little girls, but younger people. You have the ability to kind of like connect them to their culture or introduce them to our culture. There's a responsibility there that you where you are and where you're going, you could really make a difference in a lot of stuff in our culture because of who you are and what you're doing, and getting these younger kids to like really think it's cool and like, look, one of us has done it. Blah blah blah. So I just want you to appreciate that because it's a huge thing. We've been trying to do it our whole lives. Nobody cares what we do, but somebody like you, like that.
I care. A lot of people love you guys, but no, I appreciate that, and I don't take that lightly, and I do see that for myself, and the dreams that I have are big, and the places that I want to get to, and like put Greece and like Greek culture and Greek flavor on the map are, some places where we haven't been yet or haven't been at the level that I want to get to yet.
Bravo. I love it.
Yeah, I really hope to make our people proud on this journey.
Yeah, man, we got to get the young people like into it because generations pass and that Greekness is I don't want to say like fading, but it's like it's hard to get. It's not like when we were kids, like going out to Greek nights and this and that, and like it's.
You know what I'll say though? I feel like there's been a revival because I've seen more and
I
more
agree.
things popping up, and I just
Yeah.
recently performed at FDF. They had me do their concert, and I was blown away by how many. There were like 5,000 people there that were obsessed with Greek folk dancing,
Wow.
and when
Yeah,
I
my daughter was there. My daughter was dancing for Saint Sophia.
yeah, it was like
Yeah, it was great.
and everybody's just up till 5 a.m. in the hotel lobbies Greek dancing. And these are like just kids and like youth and teenagers that are so proud. And it just made me feel so proud because I was like, yes, the culture is culturing. We will be okay. We will continue.
I love to hear that. That's amazing.
So
But you see,
there's
Evangelia,
always more work to be done. There's always more work
Yes.
to be done. But
Sure.
I would say I think we're still going strong, and we just have to keep doing what we all do and you guys do, connecting Greeks, and just keep raising each other up.
well, you see, because FDF's a good example, and there's a lot of these things, and as long as people it's the volunteers and the people that keep going and keep doing those things, and people like you and me and everybody else that participates in those, and that's what keeps it going. And then kids one day will come and see you singing there. Who knows? Maybe in the future they want to do something like that or whatever. But it's all fabric knitted together that keeps the culture. And I agree with Evangelia. I think there's a resurgence lately. This generation's kind of really getting into it again now. And I think it's because the social media is creating that.
That's awesome.
Hopefully,
That's because of people like you guys.
right.
And you, it's because of us, all of us,
All
everybody.
of us.
And I think
Foti is actually tearing the Greek culture apart slowly.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm tearing it up in a good way. But the other addition I can say to what we're discussing is as long as our youth gets a little taste of Greece too, that definitely makes a difference. By going to
Yeah.
Greece, experiencing a summer, because I'm
True.
sure all of us can reflect our younger years, summers in Greece is something that you can't really emulate anywhere else in the world, right? So that little taste, I'm sure, can have a huge impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
so lucky. Like,
on that note, Fati, you want to give Evangelia a few questions so we could get to
Yeah,
know her
you
her
know,
Greekness a little better?
yeah, because it's we got to know you in this last 45 minutes a little more, but we're gonna get to know you even more from these like three questions. So
oh, great. Looking forward.
uh so so these are fun questions that we always like to ask all of our guests, Evangelia. So the first question we're gonna ask you is gyro or souvlaki?
Gyro.
All right. And
Bravo.
being that you're Cretan, I'm gonna kind of adjust the next question. So Sikodia or Cretan wine?
Ooh,
Sikudia.
yes.
Ah,
I've
and
had that. That stuff's good, man.
all right.
Easy. That stuff is, I was telling,
Cretan
I was
moonshine.
telling my dancers, I was like, we might have to take a shot at
Well, yeah.
Sikudia before we get on stage to like really put on a great show.
The last question, Evangelia, frappe or Elnikos cafés?
Frappe.
Frappe. Well, now we got to know you
Bravo.
even more.
Now
So
we
now
know her.
you know
Now you
exactly what
got
makes Evangelia tick. But thank
Now,
you
if we
for
see her at a cafe in Greece, we don't have a frappe with her now.
I
that's it.
know. Which, by the way, I always get made fun of for frappe stuff when I go to Greece because like it's Freddo espresso now. Frappe is so Greek American.
Oh my
Espresso,
God.
espresso. I know I get corrected all
You
the
gotta
time
be up
on
for
social
time.
media from the Greeks. It's okay.
It's
So
It's
okay.
been a blast today, Evangelia. Thanks for coming on
I
the show,
like
man.
I like frappe still, so that's what I'm gonna have.
you
Good.
just own whatever you like, you own it because
That's right.
I love that just getting to know all these people that are movers and shakers and influencers and can make differences in our Greek lives, much more than that, but I just stick with the Greek. It's great to have you with us. We know you. When is the tour actually starting?
The tour starts next Wednesday. May.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So we'll be able to put all the dates. When we post this, Ari, we can put all the dates of Evangelia's tour on when people see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you must be so excited about this. And we're excited for you because we just again we appreciate what you do. We appreciate that you put that effort in for our culture, and you are somebody that has that power to make a difference within our Greek culture. And thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And and thanks everybody out there for watching, listening. Check the show notes. We have all her info, links. If you have the opportunity to go see her, I mean, she's amazing. You guys have all seen her social media, have seen her videos. I mean, but live, we know it's like going to be just a game changer. So thanks again, Evangelia. Thank you, Foti. Thank you, Angelo. And thanks everybody out there for watching and listening.
Thank you
And
all so much. See you
Bye,
soon.
guys.
yeah, we're going to see you on the road.
Mwah.
Bye-bye.